Welcome to my channel, A Wonderful Sheep. Here I like to share my love of arts, crafts, and stationery. Today I thought I'd share some Easter card ideas and recreate one of the cards I made when I was a child 20 years ago. So here are some Easter cards I made last year in 2019. These peeps are made out of painted paper and I added some shading with colored pencil. If you don't know what peeps are, they're sugar-coated marshmallows and they're a classic Easter treat in the US. This Easter basket was collaged from pages out of a magazine, and I added the Easter grass and wove strips of paper to make the Easter basket and the handle. And I had a whole bunch of Easter eggs left over, the ones that didn't make the basket, that were cut from the team, so I glued them onto other postcards to make some more cards. What's crazy about that basket card is, last year I went home and I was looking through a box of old stuff, and I found this card made in 1999. Basically, I made the same card for my mom as I did last year. I wove strips of construction paper to make the basket and everything, and I have no memory of making this card. I hadn't seen it in 20 years, but I guess this idea had just been buried in my subconscious somewhere, so I thought that was really interesting. And so I thought today I would recreate the same card again with painted paper. I've been painting a lot more these days with my Painting on Cardboard series, which is a series that I try to depict positive and inspiring stories from the coronavirus outbreak. So after I'm done painting, I've been adding different patterns to my plain painted papers. It's a tongue twister. To my painted papers to use up the leftover paint and not waste it. So I thought Easter eggs would be a perfect way to use up those fun patterns. I'm going to work in my sketchbook because I've been trying to work bigger, and it looks like I've done about one collage per season, so a nice spring Easter card would be a good addition to the sketchbook. I freehand cut out the basket, and I chose two shades of brown that I thought would contrast enough to make the woven basket more interesting. These painted papers I think I had painted to look like wood, so it looks a little extreme now, but in the end I think it turns out okay. So this is the most time-consuming part of the process, where I cut slits in the basket, and that would act as one color of the woven basket. And then I cut strips of another color and wove those in between. And I realized this is actually quite a hard way to do it. So to save time, I think it's easier to just cut two colors of strips and then tape one row down to a piece of paper. Then you weave the other color over and under, until you have one sheet of the woven pattern. And then you glue stick it down to the back paper and then cut out the shape of the basket, because it's a lot easier to lift up the strips as you weave rather than try to thread it through the slits. But like I said, the basket is pretty time consuming, but it does look really nice when it's done. I remember last year getting really excited and fantasizing about a series of woven paper art like rattan furniture and bags. It was one of my ideas that never actually came to fruition, but at least I did weave another basket a year later. Now for the grass. Last year I made curly Easter grass, but I think all the paper weaving tired me out, so I just decided to cut strips from different textures of green, and I like how the different patterns come through. I'm using matte medium and a brush to glue them down, but a glue stick works just as well. And then all that was left was to cut out different egg shapes from the painted papers. I like to freehand cut everything, which means oftentimes things come out a little wonky, but that's also the charming part about homemade crafts, I think. Finally, for the message, Happy Easter. One tip when you're adding hand-cut letters to a piece is to block out the letters with actual blocks of paper before you start. So cut out blocks from the paper you're going to use and adjust the placement and size to the space so that you don't run out of space at the end. And using these blocks also helps to keep the letters more uniform in size. And that is my recreation of my Easter card from 20 years ago. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're staying healthy and safe, and if you celebrate, have a happy Easter. Thank you for watching.